Thanks for being a part of the workshop tonight. I really appreciate it. If you don't know by now, I'm Adam Badger. I run a coaching business called Amplified Coaching Method. I work primarily with women. This When I got into coaching, just the nature of the business started to mainly work with women over the years. I still work with a few male clients, but over time, most of my clients tend to be female in their mid 30s or over. People who have struggled with yo-yo dieting, people who have struggled with, overwhelm of information, not really knowing what to do to get their fitness to the next level, not knowing how to lose that stubborn belly fat or just build a lean tone physique. So I wanted to just start off by saying that by taking time out of your busy day to listen to this shows that you're an action taker who prioritizes their fitness. You prioritize your goals. So after tonight, we're really going to go down one of two paths. Path one is you're going to learn a bunch of stuff. You're going to be very motivated and very excited to make changes. You may start implementing some of those changes immediately, but then as motivation inevitably fades, you're going to lose interest and go back to the old way of doing things, even though you know that they don't work. And now you have a bunch of proof and a bunch of evidence and a bunch of clear reasons as to why they don't work. A lot of people are going to lose motivation and they're just going to go back to the way things were before. And they'll repeat that cycle. And then hopefully they'll come back to another workshop or another freebie. And then maybe they'll make the change. Path two is you're going to realize you finally found the road to success and you're going to take action with the stuff that you learn. You're going to see great results and you'll realize that there's more layers to this. There's more layers to these changes. And you're going to use that as an opportunity to take your body, to take your mind to the next level. And those are the type of women that usually fit best in my program. And if that's you, you likely want to pursue coaching at some time and we'll talk then. But for the people who follow path number two, I do have a surprise for you at the end that we'll get to. So the main thing I want to focus on before we start is that fitness is not just about fat loss, right? I call this the new rules of female fat loss because at the end of the day, most people want to lose body fat, right? But fitness is not about fat loss. Fat loss is one aspect of fitness, and it is a short-term thing that some people try to achieve. Fitness is about improving the way your body feels, improving the way your body performs, and yes, the way your body looks. It's about improving your physical health, supporting your mental health. It's about increasing your lifespan, so living a longer life. And just as importantly, it's about improving your quality of life. So I want you to remember that going into this and beyond tonight, whenever you're reading an article or you're getting diet advice, I always want you to run it through that filter. Is this going to improve the way my body feels, improve the way my body performs? Is it good for my physical health? Is it supporting my mental health? Is it going to help increase my lifespan? Is it improving my quality of life? Right? If you run things through that filter, it makes decisions a lot simpler. So on one end of the spectrum, when you're kind of off the rails and you're eating whatever and you're not taking care of yourself, you could run it through that filter. Is this supporting my physical and mental health? Is this increasing my lifespan? Is it improving my quality of life? On the other end, if you're getting like BS diet advice that you know is probably not healthy for you, you could run it through that filter. Is this improving the way my body feels, improving the way my body performs? Is it good for my physical health, my mental health? Is it increasing my lifespan? Is it improving my quality of life? If it doesn't check all four of those boxes, then it's probably not the best thing to be doing. So who am I? Why should you listen to anything that I have to say? I've been a trainer and nutrition coach for over a decade now. I've personally coached over 500 women, and to be 100% honest with you, I think that's kind of a lowball number. I think it's probably more than that, but I felt confident saying that it was at least 500 people. I've mentored and taught dozens of other coaches how to improve their approach to coaching women as well. And just a few success stories I've had, a few clients I've had, great results they've seen from running through the systems, the things that we're going to talk about tonight. These are just some of the few clients that I've worked with who've seen amazing results. So we got Bry, Jamie, Aaron, Lori, Dee, Chelsea. We've got who was the other one I missed out? Sam. We've got Kerry, all people who ran through this exact system that I'm going to talk to you guys about tonight. And what do they all have in common? They worked full-time or more. Some of them had two jobs, or they were entrepreneurs, or they worked very busy schedules. They had hectic schedules. They had a high-stress lifestyle. Fitness was not their top priority. So these are not people who are figure competitors or were training for a specific competition or were professional athletes. They're everyday people. And most of them had kids Most of them were married. Like they had other stuff going on. Like this was not their main thing. And what did they else do they all have in common? They had been misled by diet culture. They were never taught how to support their metabolism. They had tried at least 5 different fad diets, and they felt they were just not in control of their body's results. So what results did they achieve? Most of them had an average weight loss of 20 to 30 pounds in 6 months. They had an average 3-time increase in physical strength, an average 3 pant size dropped. But these are not the most important results. The most important progress they had, and a lot of other women I work with have, was they had empowerment. They gained back control of their body. They overcame self-limiting beliefs, so they were never self-sabotaging again. They improved their metabolism, so their hormones were optimized. They easily maintained fat loss. They improved confidence in their decisions. They gained confidence in themselves. This is what fitness is supposed to be about. It is an empowering and value-adding process that improves quality of life. It should not be a joy-sucking, emotionally taxing, rigorous chore that leaves you feeling worse than before you started. And this is exactly what I'm laying out for you tonight. So it's not just the new rules of female fat loss, it's the new rules of female fitness. It's about being a fitter, stronger, healthier person inside and out. And a lot of my coaching is based around how would I explain fitness and nutrition to my daughter? I have a brand new daughter. She's 3 weeks old, 3.5 weeks old. And as she grows up, how am I going to explain how to approach a healthy, fit lifestyle? How am I going to explain that to her? So thank you, Sheila. That is the basis of all of my coaching is I do things so that I can look my daughter in the eye and stand by the things that I tell my clients. So I don't coach my clients to do anything that I wouldn't have my own daughter do, right? So we're going to start off with 3 lies that you've been told about fitness, about fat loss. Now I'm going to go through these, and I want you guys to feel free to be active in the chat. Let me know if this resonates with you as we go through these. So the first one is you need to eat less to weigh less. Drop a thumbs up or a me in the chat if this is something that you either currently believe or you have believed in the past, that you need to eat less to weigh less. Who resonates with that belief? Who's heard that or at least believes that to be true? Now, this is the core idea of 99.9% of diets. Keto, fasting, 21-day fix, Optavia, tracking your macros, right? Like it's all about Whole30. It's all based on reducing the amount of food that you are allowed to eat, right? Now, this can be done by demonizing foods or food groups, or by guiding you toward over-restrictive calorie goals, right? This can lead to a disordered relationship with food, fear-based food choices, feeling depleted, feeling deprived, high sugar cravings, lack of motivation, increased likelihood of binge eating, and a trashed metabolism. Now, this is all a result of if you approach the idea of I need to eat less to weigh less. If you approach that from like with the wrong from the wrong place, like if you approach that the wrong way, it leads to all this stuff. Now, Colleen, I believe you said in the chat that you've heard of a calorie deficit. Now, it is true. Now, I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm never gonna lie to anybody. It's true. You need to be in a calorie deficit to lose body fat, but you don't just need to eat less to weigh less. Because when you head down that path, you are going to hit a dead end. You are going to get to a point where you can only eat so little. And then by the time you've gotten there, for most people, you're in a place where you don't have the energy to build muscle. Your body doesn't want to get rid of body fat. And then you bounce back even harder because then you start saying, well, this isn't worth it anymore. And you go back to over consuming calories. But now you have a body that has a trash metabolism and doesn't burn as many calories on the back end of that diet. So now you gain back the weight even faster, right? So that is the definition of yo-yo dieting. That is why yo-yo dieting happens. Okay, so that's the first lie you've been told is you need to eat less to weigh less. The second lie that most women have been told is that women need to weigh under 130 pounds to be fit and healthy. This is how you get this is how you get obsessed with the scale. Like hello scale obsession, right? I've seen too many women beat themselves up and quit on themselves because of an obsession about the scale. Now, does the scale matter? Yeah, it kind of does, but it also depends. The scale is one unit of measurement. It is not the only unit of measurement, and it is not the most important one. The truth is that women can be fit and healthy, and they could be anywhere from 120 to 200 pounds. I have coached fit and healthy women who were 200 pounds, right? It doesn't have to be based on body weight. Being fit and healthy is based on your daily habits, metabolic markers, your immune health, your performance, your physical ability. Your weight is not the end all be all. It's a byproduct of your choices. Now, to be clear, this does not mean that there is no unhealthy weight. Like if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of lean muscle, who is not physically active, is not consistent with their diet, you're not getting your steps in, and you want to lose 50, 100 pounds. Like it at a certain point, when you cross a certain threshold, yes, having too much body weight can be unhealthy, but being too underweight can be unhealthy as well. But the problem is using 130 pounds as your standard for success will make your journey feel discouraging and unhealthy. I want you to take it like think of if a woman was 220 pounds and they went from 220 pounds down to 180 pounds, wouldn't you say that she is fit and healthy? If she lost 40 pounds, she maintained muscle, built new muscle, completely revamped for her metabolism. Now, if she gets to 180, it doesn't mean that she's not allowed to lose more if she wants to, but she shouldn't feel obligated to chase an arbitrary number. And I have a couple of examples that I want to show you. This is my client, Lori. Lori is 50 years old. She's been working with me now for a couple of years. She's gotten into amazing shape. She's very physically fit, very physically strong. And Lori, and this is with her permission to share this, weighs year round in the 160s. She stays primarily in the 160s. All these pictures that you see of her, she was in the 160s. Now, for most people, I've worked with women who came to me at 160 pounds, who were the same height. Lori's not super tall or anything. And we're like, I want to lose 40 pounds. I'm like, from where? You don't need to lose 40 pounds. You don't need to be under 130 pounds. You need to build muscle. You need to take care of your health. There's another client of mine, Megan. Megan dropped multiple pant sizes. She lost a considerable amount of body fat in her legs, arms, and stomach area. But there's only a 6-pound difference between these two pictures. 6 pounds. But she looks like she lost 20. You don't need to be 130 pounds to be fit and healthy. Lie number 3 is that strength training will make you bulky and or injure you. The fact is, not strength training is what leads to injury. Not strength training is what leads to excess body fat. Remember that the secret to lean and toned is muscle. If you want to look lean and toned, you have to build muscle. To build muscle, you have to strength train. I always tell my clients, bones ain't toned. If you want to look toned, you can't just have bones on your body. You need to build muscle around those bones. And when we're doing like random follow along kind of YouTube circuits or just hopping into whatever HIIT class or spin class is available, you're never giving your body any chance to adapt. I want you to imagine trying to learn a new language. Like you speak English and you're like, I want to learn a new language. So you start taking Chinese lessons. Then the next week you take Italian. Then the week after that you take French. By the end of 2 months, you've tried 8 different languages and you're not fluent in any of those languages because you're just learning beginner stuff. You're never progressing. Now imagine doing that while also being yelled at by your instructor, under stress, and in an emotional state where you felt like you were rushing to get a result. This is how you've tried to build a lean toned body in the past. You're hopping from program to program. There's no long-term plan. There's no logical progression. You make emotional decisions based on the scale, based on pictures. You're getting yelled at by yourself, like you're talking down to yourself and getting mad at yourself, and also by some 20-something-year-old group instructor with a mic on them and telling you that you should do more burpees. This is all causing added stress. And if you want a depleted, weak, metabolically damaged body that holds on to body fat, then please keep over restricting, going off the rails on the weekends, and doing like a ton of random classes, because that's where it's going to get you. But if you want to build a lean, strong, and healthy body, I can't stress that enough, not just losing weight, but a lean, strong, and healthy body, you have to have a plan that allows you to recover, that allows you to feel your best, and creates a good relationship with food, right? So when you're hearing these things, like these three lies, like are they new to you, or you're like, no, I've heard those things before. I've heard those before. Maybe I believed them in the past. Maybe I currently believe them. Okay, like there's no judgment here. That's why we're here. We're here to learn. Okay, we want to learn. And just to be clear, if you enjoy taking HIIT classes, enjoy going to spin classes, if you enjoy your nutrition and you're over restricting right now, that doesn't make you evil or bad or dumb. It's like, but most people are doing these things. They're not enjoying them. They're just doing them because they think they have to do them to get results. So now we're going to move on to the 3 secrets that no one has taught you about fat loss, or that you probably aren't very familiar with. Secret number 1, fat loss is not a forever process. And this you might think, oh, well, I knew that, right? First thing I want to tell you something that a coach told me once. If you want to learn something, never say I know. Because if you know the thing, but you're not regularly applying it and getting results, then you don't actually know it, right? So knowledge is information plus action. If you don't take action on the things that you learn, it's just information. It has no use. So knowledge is when you have new information and it changes your behavior. So fat loss is not a forever process. Do you feel like you've been trying to lose the same 15 to 20 pounds forever? That's because you've been following outdated and misleading fat loss advice. Fat loss is a temporary process. Depending on your goal, it can be a 12-week or a 52-week process, but then you're done. So if someone wants to lose, let's say they want to lose 15, 20 pounds of body fat, right? Now we can get into the whole, like, the scale doesn't matter, and like you might lose body fat and gain muscle and your weight on the scale might not change. But let's just say the overall goal is they want to lose 15 pounds of body fat. That can probably take 16 weeks, 20 weeks-ish, 4 or 5 months. If you're doing it slow, controlled, you could probably, if you wanted to do it a little bit more aggressive, maybe 12 weeks, but then you're done. And the goal is to do that using a process that you could see yourself maintaining once you're done losing the fat. Let's say you have a bigger goal. Maybe you want to lose 50 pounds or 80 pounds or 70 pounds, right? That might take closer to a year, but then you're done. You don't have to do it again. Now, like, in under 12 weeks, if you do it correctly, you will at least not only see results, but set up your habits so that you can continue to see results after that. Like, fad diets and like outdated workout styles, they put you in a victim state. They trash your metabolism, they ruin your relationship with food, and they set you up for failure. But they give you some fast results at the beginning to get you bought in. And this causes you to constantly run back to them, which is how they grow to multi-million-dollar companies. But the industry is changing. Like, this is like insider stuff that you guys might not know, but like the industry is changing because clients are smarter and more informed now than they were 10, 20 years ago. Like, you on this call, you're a more sophisticated, educated, and empowered consumer. So this means that basically you're not going to fall for bullshit anymore, which is why now this period of time over the next 5-10 years is when the best coaching programs and the best coaches are going to rise to the top, and you're no longer going to be dealing with things like Optavia and SlimFast because of amazing people like you who are saying no to things like Optavia and the Barry's boot camps and things like that. Like, clients are smarter now. Clients are more savvy. They've been screwed over before. They've gone down paths that misled them. And now they're like, I don't want to stand for bullshit anymore. So now it's up to people like me to provide the best quality information and coaching so that you guys can actually get results, because the new way of doing business as in the fitness industry is not to make you dependent on a system. The old way was get them in, get them some fast results, right? Like think of Octavia, for example. They get you in, they give you some meals in a bag or some bars. You drop a bunch of weight really quickly, but then you have no skills and you don't know how to do it without them. So you have to depend on them to get you results, but their process isn't sustainable. So you go off, you go on, you go off, you go on. The way that coaching programs work, like with me, is my job is to get my client from A to B, give them all the tools they need, and then they graduate so they don't need a coach anymore. Kind of like going to college. You just do it once, you're done, right? Secret number 2 is that you are in control of your body. It's not your age, it's not your genetics, it's not your hormones. Those are not the problem. You've just been misled to believe that you're in a victim place and that you're a victim to your circumstances. You are in control. You are driving the car. Your choices, your habits, and beliefs are what get you results. You don't need pills, powders, potions, shots, tests, or to be babied. You just need guidance and accountability. Knowledge is power, but knowledge is powerless if you don't change your behavior. So in the past, you've been given incorrect information, which has led to misdirected behavior changes, which leads to frustration and quitting. But today we're changing that. And secret number 3 is fitness does not need to be your top priority. One self-limiting belief that holds a lot of people back is they believe they need to be obsessed with fitness in order to look and feel their best. So this leads to either getting overwhelmed and not taking any action, or going overboard with the approach, and they fall into the all or nothing mindset, and this leads to burnout and eventual quitting. Fitness does not need to be your number 1 priority to see results. It honestly needs to just be like in the top 5, right? It doesn't need to be number 1. Like for me, fitness is not my number 1 priority. I have 2 kids, I have a wife, I have a home, I have a business, I have clients. Like fitness is always in my top 4, top 3 mostly, but family and work have to come first a lot of the time. But I understand that if I'm not taking care of myself, family and work then suffer. So fitness always has to be in the top 3 for me, right? So now we're going to get into the new rules of female fitness. So this is how to build a lean, strong, and healthy body. So can you just drop it in the chat real quick? So far, does anyone have any questions, anything that popped up while we were going through that, or just a thumbs up that you're still with me? This is resonating with you. And I promise not to keep you all night since we started late. Thank you guys for participating in the chat. Do your body measurements come into play? Great question. Yes, they do. If you are working out and your nutrition's on point and you're noticing that your body measurements are going in the direction that you want them to go, then yeah, you don't have to pay as much attention to the scale. There's a lot of different ways you can measure progress. One of them is body measurements. Another one is, are you noticing changes in the mirror, right? Are you noticing your performance getting better in the gym? Are you stronger? Is your conditioning better? Like, are there things you're able to do now that you used to get out of breath doing? Like, for example, I had a client recently, she's down 15 pounds and she had to go to New York City on business, and she was like, man, I used to go to New York City all the time, and I would always Uber because I didn't want to walk, and I walked everywhere, and I felt fine doing it. And like that for her was like a big progress marker that mattered, like outside of just the scale. So the new rules of female fitness. Rule number 1, build baseline habits before you try to lose fat. I can't stress this enough. Stop going right into a fat loss phase. Because what did we talk about on slide number 1? Fitness is not just about fat loss, right? And Colleen said, as she's getting older, Def doesn't feel like that you're in as much control. And I totally get that. But again, like I've talked about this before, Your current situation is likely a side effect of past behavior. So it's not that you're just getting older and it's out of your control. It's that no, now we're paying the tab on past choices. So it's the same process to get in shape and get strong and lean and fit at 60 as it would be at 30. Is it harder at 60? Yeah, absolutely. But it doesn't change the process. That just means we have to be a little bit more patient, a little bit more strategic, and we have to have better expectations. Like obviously at 60, we're not going to get the same results that we got at 30, but we could get way better results than we ever got in our life if we've been doing yo-yo dieting and crash dieting and falling on and off and not supporting our metabolism. I have clients, one of my clients is 63. I believe she just turned 63 this year. She's in the best shape of her life at 63, and she didn't start coaching with me until she was 61. And we undid a bunch of the stuff, but she stuck with me for 2 years now, and she's doing phenomenal. So rule number one, build baseline habits before trying to lose fat. So don't try to lose weight immediately. Okay, this is where this is where women, men too, but a lot of women get very scared here. They don't try to lose weight immediately. Focus on maintaining body weight by sticking to maintenance calories for 4 to 12 weeks. Make sure you're getting at least 120 to 130 grams of protein per day. Make sure that you're strength training 3 to 4 times per week with an actual strength training program, not just like lifting random weights and not tracking your weights. Have a reliable nighttime and morning routine, and make sure you're getting around 7 to 10,000 steps per day. If your immediate thought right now is, whoa, but this is different than everything I've ever been told, and this makes me nervous, then that means that this is exactly what you need to change. Because what did we talk about? Why are we here? The old ways didn't work. If they did, we wouldn't be having this conversation. This is like when you found out Santa wasn't real and it was your parents the whole time. There's no magical system that's going to come swoop in and just drop off fat loss results down your chimney. You need to buy the gifts and you need to wrap them. But here's the crazy part. This is the mind-blowing part. This is that every client goes through and they go, holy crap, I can't believe this happened. When you focus on these habits, when you focus on maintenance calories, not trying to lose weight, getting enough protein, doing a progressive strength training program, having a reliable routine so that you're getting good sleep, and getting 7 to 10,000 steps per day, what happens is fat loss will just happen as a side effect. You won't even have to try to be losing fat. It will happen as a side effect. You'll feel amazing. You'll gain confidence. Your metabolism will be revving up, and fat loss will happen almost effortlessly. But it's all from getting these baseline habits down. Like this is it. Like these, 5 habits? 5 habits. That's all it is. 5 things nailed down. Now, maybe you look at this and you go, well, I'm already getting a lot of protein and I'm also doing strength training. Well, now you only have to work on 3 habits. Congratulations. That's awesome. Right? So like this is it. That's it. These are the baseline habits. You get these down and they're on autopilot so that you don't even have to really think about it. You're going to lose fat as a side effect. It's going to be super easy. Focus on eating more, not less. Now, again, at first it's like, whoa, what are we talking about here? What I mean by more is more meals, more balanced meals, not snacks. More protein, getting 30 to 40 grams of protein at each meal. More carbs, right? Again, that's scary, right? For a lot of people, at least a serving of carbs at each meal. More produce, more fruits and veggies, right? Having those in your diet. This does not mean to haphazardly start face stuffing your calories. By focusing on adding to your diet instead of eliminating, you will be more full, have less sugar cravings, less salt cravings, more energy, better workouts, and overall a better relationship with food. This completely reverses your mindset around food because you start each day with consumption goals instead of restrictions. So think about that. Think about if each day, instead of thinking about all the things that you're not allowed to eat, or I can't eat this, or I got to avoid this, what if your mindset was, I need to reach for something. I need to I need to have consumption goals. I need to get to 3 meals a day. I need to get to 30 to 40 grams of protein at each meal. I need to find a serving of carbs. I need to get more produce. It's abundance. You're focusing on gaining food, on using food for nourishment. It's a complete reversal of the diet mindset. And again, if you're reading this or you're listening to this and you're going, oh, that's kind of scary. I've never done that before. That's exactly why it's what you need to do. Because again, the past stuff doesn't work. And just as a side note, if you think about something you did in the past and you lost weight, but then you didn't sustain the habits and you gained the weight back, that thing did not work, right? You either didn't, it either was something that was maybe it was something good, but you didn't stick with it long enough. You didn't build baseline habits around it. Or maybe it was something that wasn't good for you, like Optavia or something like that, right? If you did it and you didn't and it didn't stick and you didn't lose and you didn't keep the results, then it didn't work. So you can't be like, well, Adam, I've done stuff that worked in the past, but then I gained the weight back every time. No, it didn't work. Because again, the goal is you lose the weight, you keep it off, you don't look back, right? So this leads to better decisions, easier calorie control, less cravings, and a better relationship with food. Rule number 3, protect and support your metabolism at all costs. This means having meals instead of snacks, prioritizing good night's sleep, managing your stress, strength training, getting enough protein. I can't stress this enough, guys. Your metabolism is the fountain of youth. It is the fountain of youth. The magic pill you've been looking for is a healthy metabolism. A healthy metabolism does the work for you. And it did not shut down. It is not broken. Your metabolism is the control center for your entire body. If it shut down, you would die. Like your metabolism shutting down is how you die. Your metabolism is not shut down. It's not broken. You're just not supporting it. I want you to think about the analogy I use is who knows what a Roomba vacuum is? Who has a Roomba vacuum? Because I don't have one, but I know what it is, right? A Roomba vacuum is those little disc vacuums that you can just put on the floor and it goes around and it finds the shit on your floor for you, right? It cleans up the dust for you. It vacuums for you. You don't even have to do anything. It just does the work for you, right? So let's say you bought a new Roomba, but your kids' toys, clothes were all over the floor, doors were closed, and the Roomba wasn't able to get to the dirt because of all this other junk in the way. Would you say that the Roomba is broken, or would you say that you didn't set up a good environment for the Roomba to work and do its job? The Roomba wants to vacuum up the dust, but you didn't set up your environment to allow it to do its job. That's what your metabolism is. Your metabolism wants to build muscle. It wants to burn body fat, but you didn't set up an environment that allows it to do its job. And what does that mean? That means skipping meals, going long hours without eating, not getting enough protein, constantly trying to lose weight, either over exercising or drastically under exercising, like not getting good sleep, having high stress and not doing anything about it. Like all this stuff impacts your metabolism. Most chronic diseases are metabolic disorders. PCOS, Hashimoto's, autoimmune diseases, type 2 diabetes. These are metabolic disorders. They're the side effects of a damaged metabolism from lifestyle choices. Your body composition, your hormonal health, your thyroid, your digestion, your hair, skin, nails, joints, organs all depend on metabolic function. Your main focus for your fitness and nutrition habits should be metabolic support, not weight loss. The most detrimental things that you can do that trash your metabolism are stress, poor sleep, over restricting your calories, a sedentary lifestyle, yo-yo weight loss and gain. So you lose 20, you gain 20, lose 20, gain 20. Rapid weight loss if you're losing weight too fast, over consuming alcohol. These are all ways that you can some ways that are really going to damage your metabolism or at least put it in a position where it can't do its job. The old ways of female weight loss are almost all enemies to your metabolism. So all of the things that are promoted to get females to lose weight are all damaging to your metabolism. Cutting carbs, eating small snacks as meals, low protein, high cardio and no strength training. emotionally stressful and restrictive diets. Like then those restrictive diets lead to the fuck it's, and then we're off the rails for the weekend. Like that's all very damaging to the metabolism. So like if you're reading that and you're like, oh man, like some of that is me, then that shows you what we need to work on. Your metabolism needs to be protected like a precious, invaluable asset because that's what it is. So, rule number 3, protect and support your metabolism at all costs. Rule number 4, get strong. Don't try to burn calories with your workouts. Stick to a structured program for 12 to 16 weeks at a time, 3 to 4 workouts per week, okay, with 4 to 6 total exercises, not 6 or 7 workouts, not running yourself into the ground, not looking at your Apple Watch after your workout to see how many calories you burned, not like seeing your friend did a HIIT workout, so now you got to find a YouTube workout to burn some calories to keep up with her. Like none of that stuff. The foundation of your training should be focused on supporting strength and muscle, not burning calories, right? Your workouts are not the source of your calorie burn. Huge misconception. Your workouts are not the source of your calorie burn. Even in a badass, solid strength training session where you work out for 60 minutes and you lift hard, you're probably burning like 300 calories. It's not the make or break. Your workouts are meant to stimulate change. When you strength train properly, you send a signal to your body that it needs to build muscle. Then, with proper nutrition and recovery, your body builds that muscle. This lean muscle is like a hidden treasure. Lean muscle is what makes you look toned. Lean muscle is what gives you shape. Lean muscle is what protects your joints. And lean muscle is what burns calories. Your workouts don't burn calories. The muscle you keep and your daily movement, that's where the majority of the calories you burn are. Your workouts are meant to activate all the systems that tell your muscles to build and tell you to keep muscle. Again, it's a complete like mind fuck for some people because like, whoa, wait, hold on. I work out to burn calories. No. You work out to support muscle, to support your joint health, to support your heart health. And then the recovery from that process gives you more muscle. So you burn more calories. As a result, you have more energy. So you move around more. And that's how you burn your calories. So if your workouts are not structured or focused on controlled strength exercises, and you're just chasing Apple Watch calories, you're doing damage to your metabolism. Your absolute top priority should be to keep as much lean muscle as possible. And once you build it, it's very easy to maintain. Keeping muscle is what creates a lean and toned body, but it also regulates blood sugar, controls inflammation, gives your body a reason to use carbs instead of storing them as fat. It increases your lifespan, it improves your quality of life, it protects your joints, and it ramps up your metabolism. Lean muscle does all that, checks all the boxes. Everything you do should be around supporting lean muscle and supporting your metabolism, and your quality of life will be so much better, and building a lean, toned, fit body will be so much easier. Now, number 5 is going to be a little like, whoa, where does this come in? Number 5 is know your core values. Know your core values as a person. This is where we get deeper with it. This is the mindset piece. Your 3 to 5 core values that define you as a person. You're going to base your daily decisions off of these. Do not attempt any diets, workouts, or programs that go against your core values. I want you to think of it like with how you earn income, right? Like we're all on here, we all earn an honest living. We have a job that hopefully provides a service to others, or we're of use to someone, right? We're good at our job. We're doing something that we feel proud of, that we feel good about. We know we're contributing to society, right? If someone said, "Hey, listen, you can make more money as a drug dealer or as let's see or robbing banks," right? You can make more money that way. Would you do it? Probably not. Why? Because it goes against your core values. Like, no, I'm not. I'm a good person. I'm not gonna sell drugs or rob banks. Right? You have to look at your diet and your nutrition the same way. Is it aligned with your core values? Right? The old ways of female fitness completely detach the mental and the physical. Your mindset, your mental health will be what guides your journey. In the past, your diet and workout attempts did not align with your core values as a person. They did not. If they did, you would still be doing them. Now, if you're hearing this and you're unsure if this is true, you're hearing what I'm saying. You're like, it kind of makes sense, Adam, but no, I don't think that's true. I think in the way I've been doing things in the past, and I don't want you to just think about the times you tried to lose weight. I don't want you to think about just the foods you cut out. I want you to think about how you talk to yourself about your body, how you approach fitness, right? What do you do when fitness like isn't going your way? Like, what is the behavior you slip back into? I want you to take all that into account. And if you're unsure if your past attempts were aligned with your core values, what I want you to ask yourself is, if you have or had a teenage daughter, sorry, that was my Long Island accent. If you had or have a teenage daughter, would you advise her to approach fitness and health the way that you have in the past? So maybe right now things are going good for you, but in the past, the way you approached your body, changing your body, taking care of yourself, your fitness routine, the diets you did, would that be the road you sent your daughter down? And I want you to really like think about that for a moment if you're unsure if these things that were conflicting with your core values. Because your mindset will influence your choices. Your choices will influence your mindset. They're synergistic. The mistake people make, they say my mindset will improve when I get the body I want. False. Another mistake people make is I need to fix my mindset before I attempt to get to my goals. Another false statement. The truth is, keeping daily promises to yourself will build confidence. The confidence you build will influence you to keep more promises to yourself. This cycle improves your mindset while leading to physical progress. The magic is in the daily tasks, not the results. Losing 20 pounds is not what gives you confidence. What gives you confidence is along the way losing 20 pounds, you kept 1,000 promises to yourself. You proved yourself wrong. You were resilient. You overcame obstacles. You have to know what your 3 to 5 core values are. And if you've ever done a program that didn't start with that, then it probably was not a long-term approach. This is what I do with all of my clients on day one. We go over their 3 to 5 core values. We nail those down. This way, whenever we're making decisions, we come back to those. And there's proof, right? Over the past 10 years, I've worked with hundreds of people, hundreds of mostly women, helping them build lean, toned, and strong bodies while also empowering them with the confidence to keep their results. And they've been able to do this while also healing their metabolism, enjoying their favorite foods. They're not having to obsess over macros or the scale. The 3 M's of female fitness are muscle, metabolism, and mindset. Okay? Everything you do should be with the intention of supporting lean muscle, supporting your metabolism, and improving your mindset. If it goes against those, it's not the plan for you. Now, these are, like I said, these are some women I've worked with. It's taken me like well over a decade to really get my system down and get my methods down to create results like this. So if you guys don't mind, we're just about over. Would it be okay with you if I walk you through the process of how you can apply this method to get results also? So just drop a thumbs up or yes in the chat if it's okay if I walk you through that process real quick. Awesome. Real quick, before I get to that, keep dropping the thumbs up, keep dropping the yeses. Amy asked a question I want to get to. She said, where does lifting fit in? Lifting versus cardio. Cardio is for your heart health and for your overall health. Cardio is not for fat loss. So cardio should fit into your program, but it should not be the main focus. It shouldn't be the thing that you're like running yourself into the ground with. Like cardio is like the side dish. So get your lifting down first, and then we figure out where does cardio fit in. But as a baseline, you should be getting out for at least a walk every day as a baseline. But cardio is important. It's just not for fat loss. It's for your heart health. Again, people have misused that in the past. Awesome. So cool. Awesome, guys. Great. I'm glad you're enjoying this. I hope it's bringing you some value. So this is the 5 steps that process that I take my clients through. So step number 1, phase number 1 is we build your baseline. This is where we identify your personal core values. We set realistic goals that align with those values. We create simple and attainable daily habits that build the lifestyle you will be able to sustain happily for decades. This is the magic step that literally every fat loss program completely neglects. Phase 2, while we're building those habits, we're also breaking self-limiting beliefs. Like we talked about, your mindset will make or break you. So we use simple conversational approach and weekly check-ins and daily communication to give you a safe space to actually express the fears, doubts, and emotions as they pop up. And then we use your baseline habits to show you real life evidence of how you are disproving all of your self-limiting beliefs. So when someone says, I'm afraid to eat more food, it's going to make me fat. Okay, let's talk about that. Let's process those emotions. Let's stick to our baseline habits. You stick to that. You're keeping those promises to yourself. You see, you ate more food. You didn't gain body fat. We've broken a self-limiting belief, right? We do that depending on each person. What are your self-limiting beliefs? How do we need to break them? Next, we build lean muscle. So we use a simple 3 to 4 day workout program tailored to you. So no fluff, no wasted time. Workouts are normally between 30 and 45 minutes with only the best bang for your buck, effective and safe exercises. And we guide your progress each week so that you're not plateauing. So every week, you're going to know, what exercise do I have to do? What weight and reps did I do last week? And I need to beat that by a little bit this week. Right? We're not doing a bunch of jumping around, no burpees, not jumping around on Bosu balls and doing a bunch of weird stuff. Quality, no BS exercises, 3 to 4 days a week. Not 5, 6, 7, 3 to 4. We progress, and then we use the time you gained back by not having to go to random workouts and drive to 3 different studios and do random YouTube workouts. We use the time you get back from that, and we take that and we apply that towards building your nutrition habits. Then, once we have your baseline habits down, we've broken through the self-limiting beliefs, you start to see results, you've built lean muscle, then we burn off the fat. So now once your habits feel automatic, your metabolism is revving up and your confidence is through the roof, we go into a responsible calorie deficit that allows you to start easily losing body fat while still living a flexible lifestyle. This is because no foods are eliminated, there's no meticulous macro tracking, and from the start, we're teaching you how to fit in all of your favorite foods. So on my intake form, literally it says, what are your favorite foods that you want to be able to fit in this process? And then we make sure we're fitting those in on a weekly basis so that you don't have to eliminate them. And then finally, once we get to your goal, like I said, because the goal is you get to the goal and then you're done, we bridge the gap. That's where your habits are built, your mindset is positive, your metabolism is primed, your goal is hit. Now we bring you back to your baseline habits where we started to ensure you have the tools to sustain all of your results. This is, again, is an integral part of the process that every program neglects. So like I said, at the beginning, there's 2 paths. You either learned a bunch of stuff, you're going to get super motivated. Maybe tomorrow you're going to start making some changes. Motivation is going to inevitably die down, as it does for everybody. And then you're going to go back to whatever you were doing before tonight. Path number 2 is you're someone who's like, yes, this sounds really good. I want to actually take action on this. And I'm going to start actually changing my behavior. I'm not just going to take in information. I'm going to actually change my habits. So for those people who want to do that, what to do next is, I just want you to text me directly. Save this phone number. You have it. Text me directly. And for those that stayed the whole way through and are serious about achieving your goals, just shoot me a text right now. If we're not gonna have the whole conversation tonight. If you text me tonight, though, before we sign off, shoot me a text. For anyone who texts me, we'll set up some time to talk. If we decide that this is the next best step for you, I will give you an additional month of coaching totally for free, added onto your program. So if you're an action taker, you want to go down path number 2, all this sounds pretty good, it resonates with you. You don't have to make a decision tonight, but if you're just like, hey, I'm on the same page as you, this sounds like something I would be interested in, just shoot me a text at this number tonight. If you text me tonight, that offer stands and we'll set up a call. We'll see if it's a good fit. And if it is, boom, you get a free month of coaching. Does anyone have any questions about anything we talked about today? And if you don't have a question, can you do me a favor and just drop in the chat if this was worth your time, if this was valuable to you at all, if you gained something from it? Well, again, guys, I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate you sticking with me all the way through. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being patient with me from the beginning. Again, save this number. Save this number. Take a picture of it and shoot me a text if any of this resonated with you, and we'll set up a time to talk as soon as possible, see if it's a good fit for you. All right. Thank you guys, and we'll talk soon.